Hello, we're here. I feel.
Hello.
How are you guys doing today, Kay, Cherie?
Doing all right.
I know you've been fine. I feel. How are you guys doing today, Kay, Cherie?
Doing all right.
I'm getting it.
Oh, okay. I was like, why do I hear my voice again? It's bad enough the first time around.
I agree.
Shut up.
About myself. Oh my God.
Linda, Becca, how are you guys? All two of ya. I know we're late tonight, so that's my fault as usual. I decided that at the end of this show tonight, I'm just going to kind of fill everybody in. Kay, I haven't told you this yet, but I'm going to kind of fill everybody in what's going on and why. I mean, it's not always the reason, but there are some times when it is the definite reason that either I have to postpone a show or cancel one, or I'm late for one or whatever. So can you guys hear in the chat? All two of you? Kay and Cherie, go get in the chat. I feel like it's really lonely in there. Oh, there's Jinx. Hi, Jinx.
Peeks in. Hi, Jinx.
Hi, Jinx. How are you guys doing? Was everybody's holidays, I mean, they're done and over with now, and everybody trying to, I don't know what normal is. I think we're going to start a new normal, right? We're going to work
Maybe
on our
Q2.
What's that?
Maybe by the second quarter we could start a new normal, hopefully.
Yeah. Second quarter.
Well, yeah, realistically.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it doesn't, these things don't, they take time. So of course, we won't see progress right away, but just knowing that it's coming is kind of nice. You know what, Linda, my holidays were, okay. They were fine. they were fine. I just, yeah, they were good. Santa Claus, Becca already knows this, and I haven't reached out yet because I haven't really had time yet, but I got a Santa, my Santas in my house, my own private little Santas, brought me a Nintendo Switch game, and I don't know what the fuck to do with it. So, but it's the Nintendo Switch Animal Crossing New Horizons edition. And so I don't know what to do with it. I thought that it would came with a free download of that game or something, but I guess not. I guess all it is the colors and then the little picture on the little battery holding stand thingy. Yes, I'm stalling because I'm waiting for a video to finish. It's almost done. But anyway, so we promised you guys we were going to do parts 1, 2, and 3. Tonight we're on part 2. I always mistakenly think everything's, this is going to be, not that it was hard, but it was just more, it's always more information than I think it is. Do you feel that way, Cherie and Kay, when we're getting ready? Or is it just?
Yeah, it's easy to get carried away.
Yeah, to start, every single thing is important. Every little thing has to be shared because you just really feel like you can't leave anything out. At least I feel that way.
Yeah.
I just, yay for your daughter. I'm trying to, so I learned, I think it was a couple of days after Christmas, that when you go online, there's actually 2 Nintendo things online. There's one that's just the Nintendo website, I guess. And then there's another one that's my eShop. So I'm like, why did you do that to me? Because I can't handle it. My brain doesn't function like that. But I want to play the old games. I'm looking for the original Mario Brothers and Dr. Mario and Tetris, and that's what I'm looking for. Mario Kart. I think I can do Mario Kart. My little 5-year-old granddaughter can do it, so I should be able to do it. We'll see what happens.
That's funny.
I know, it's pretty bad. But and she's funny too, coming in. She came in here the other night and she was playing it and she was just giggling and laughing, and I got a box and I'm like, what the hell is she? I said, Nini, what are you doing? I'm playing Mario Kart and I'm winning and I have to get this. Oh, I got a box. And I'm like, well, I don't understand all that stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. When I get back from Arizona next week, we'll see what I can figure out so I can actually relax and have some fun once in a while. Um, maybe, Linda, it's very possible because I do tend to get easily addicted to things. So right now I'm very easily addicted to my video editing and all that incredibly fun, challenging stuff. And because of that, we're waiting just a couple more minutes for that to get done, and then but we don't have to wait for it. We
Do you
can.
want me to give an update on Daniel, or were
Yes,
you
I
going
was
to do
just going
that?
to say there's other things we can do right now and talk about. So, Kay, why don't you do that? Go ahead and give us an update on Daniel. It was a rough month for him.
It was, but he's feeling better. I don't believe him. He says he feels 100%, but I think he's just saying that. But he is. He looks better. He sounds great. There's
Good.
no indication of that he had a respiratory issue. And I talked to him at the beginning of the day, so I don't really get to see what his energy level is like. But he swears that
In good shape.
he's back to normal.
Well,
And they're getting to have some outside time every day.
that
So
is
that's
awesome.
finally good, because it was a long haul without seeing the sunshine.
Sure. Yeah.
That's it. His New Year's resolution is that he wants to read 100 books in 2021. So
Oh,
he better get reading.
he can probably do that, don't you think?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, he definitely has the time.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of 2021, have any of you, we're not going to get to see this video tonight. I'm going to have to just premiere it probably, but we'll keep going and doing the show. And if it does get finished, then we can watch it before we end. But if it doesn't get finished, then I will just put it up as a premiere. Does that work? You guys and
Sure.
all you guys know you YouTube stuff people, Linda or whoever. Guess I can do that, right? Anyway, and that will actually help us, keep our show down to an hour. Maybe we always say that, but anyway, so has anybody mistakenly done the 2020 thing whenever writing the date or typing the date?
Oh, I've only used it one time on a release of mortgage, and I got it right the first time. So I
Oh,
guess that's good.
yeah, good. That's awesome.
I probably had someone reminding me, but
I, for some reason, I have not. It's like I've been practicing 21 for the last 6 months. Like I can't wait to start doing 21. So, it doesn't mean I'll get. Hi, Colette. Welcome. Thank you for coming. We're having a little bit of a late show this evening, and we're just enjoying that. And right now, we're just having a little bit of idle chit chat. But
oh, hey, the calendar. You want to tell them about the calendar?
yeah, I was actually going to ask you. So yes, we well, I shouldn't tell them. You should. That's the Team Daniel thing. I think you should tell them.
Okay, so
I'll
Team
talk about
Daniel,
the other thing.
a couple team members from Team Daniel put together a calendar, kind of a spur of the moment thing, and it will be ready at the end of the week, we've been told. So if anyone wants to get a calendar, we're selling them for $30, and all of the money for the calendars goes to Daniel's defense fund,
Awesome.
to his dad. So yeah.
Cool. And I've seen what do they call it? A preview of it. And so there's lots and lots of really nice pictures of Daniel on it.
Yeah, it's kind of a collage-y collage calendar. It has a lot of photos from before this happened.
Right. And
before he had his life stripped away from him.
Yes, until he had his.
Yeah. And then it has some facts about each accuser, just like one standout fact about each of the 13. So, yeah.
Very cool. Well, so yeah, as soon as those are ready to order, Kay will get us the information, and we'll definitely put it in Discord. And Linda's asking if there are any court dates set for the case, and
there are, but I don't have it in my head right now for the civil. I still believe it's going to get pushed again.
Right? Isn't that due at the end of this month? Supposedly going to happen the end of this month?
No, I think it already got pushed to March.
Jeez.
But I don't think it's going to happen in March either.
Right. And that's for the civil case. The civil suit.
That's the civil suit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then they're working on the petition for the Oklahoma Supreme Court. So I think that is due at the end of March, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Well, so, I mean, there are things we still have to look forward to, unfortunately. He is at the state Supreme Court level, Linda.
Yeah.
So he's already gone to the SCOTUS, but he hasn't had the state. How does that work? How is that normal?
They declined to hear his case. They only hear, like, I can't remember how many percent, like 2% or something stupid low of the cases that come before them. So they declined to hear his case. And like I've said before, I was really hopeful that sometimes what they'll do, and I can't remember the terminology for it, is they'll, instead of declining to hear a case, they'll set it aside for consideration or reconsideration, and then they'll lump cases that are basically having the same issue together and then hear them all together. And I really thought they might do that because at the same time, Rodney Reed's case was writ was before SCOTUS at the same time as Daniel. But it didn't happen. You know how that goes.
Yeah,
lots of disappointment.
And it's just constant. It's just a relentless effort by the state, just like in Wisconsin, a relentless effort by the state to not give fair and just, consideration.
That's true. It's true.
It really is. And they will fight to the death. And, unfortunately, we haven't really had any, it's just been the three of us, but you know what? We're okay with it, aren't we? We love it. And as long as, one of the three of us stays awake, it's really, really good. Preferably the reader, but anyway, this book, I'm telling you guys what, I know that, coming and listening to me read randomly because it's never a set time, but this book, Death and Justice by Mark Fuhrman, has really set me on fire. The more we read, oh my gosh. And then as I'm editing recordings of it, to post in Daniel's Truth, I am just astounded at how I knew it already, but when I'm reading this book, because you get so much detail in a book, but the balls on Bob Macy are just like tons of steel and as big as a freaking house, because he is the most relentless prosecutor that I think I've ever known anything about. Huh?
He was ruthless, man.
Ruthless. That's the word, man. He is ruthless. And we all know about Ken Kratz and what a narcissistic pig he is. And we know that. But Bob Macy, I'm telling you guys, that man, I think he had a sickness. Like he was determined. It was like a goal in his life to sentence and execute, sentence as many people to death as he could, death penalty cases. And if it wasn't a death penalty case for whatever reason, for a specific subject or suspect, he would turn it into one by saying, well, there was well, we know it to be from Mark Godsey's book, we know it to be co-ejaculator but Mark Furman talks about the same things in his book when he's talking about Bob Macy. He doesn't use the word co-ejaculator. He uses words like something suspect, like John Doe, suspect John Doe, and things like that. But he can twist it and turn it, and it's shocking to see what he was able to do during his tenure in OKC, because it's really, there are still men sitting in prison on death row. And we're at a point in the book where we're getting to Joyce Gilchrist's world is starting to crumble down around her, and it's really gotten interesting. So, if you guys get a chance in the chat, if you get a chance, go to Daniel's Truth in the library. And I've got all the way to I'm all the way through chapter 6 now. We're reading I think we're going to be reading chapter 11 when the next time we read, but I've managed to get chapter 6 there. So just take a chance or take some time and just listen to one section at a time or something, because you're going to find it really interesting, I think. Yeah, I'm really enjoying reading that book. I will I don't know when I'll read again. It won't be before I go to Arizona tomorrow, I'll tell you that. So, but anyway, so speaking of fundraisers, I'll go ahead and talk about this now too, and then we will get started at least with some, the slide portion and stuff of of our, uh, our presentation tonight. Anyway, I have for months now, several months, been working on different designs for T-shirts or magnets or vinyls or coffee mugs, beer steins, stationery, and I've what happened was Kay brought it to my attention that I had all these beautiful, I mean, really nice designs for T-shirts was my goal, and full of color. I didn't know, I've never done it before, but evidently, the more color you have in your design, the more expensive it is and harder it is for the screen printer to do. So for now, I haven't scrapped it, but I put it on the back burner a little bit, the T-shirts. But I have designed, probably about 2 months ago or so, maybe longer, I designed a mask for Daniel. It just says hashtag free Daniel Holtzclaw and holtzclawtrial.com underneath it. And I don't know, I think it's a really nice, very simple mask. Maybe I can pull it up while we're going through the slides or something, show you a picture of it. But yeah, it's now the problem is, hi Sue, we'll take you late. We're late, on time, early, it's all good. We don't care. We're happy. But anyway, so the issue that I ran into, well, it's not an issue. It is an issue, but it's expensive to come up with the money up front to, to just buy those and get and start selling them. Pardon me. And so I think Kay and Cherie and I had discussed it, and we thought if we could get 5 people to donate $90 for, was it 10 masks?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, then we could, and so we have 3, me, Kay, and Cherie. You can always count on 3s usually for us, but, and so we're just I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not saying you guys have to, do this or anything, but if you know of anybody who's looking to get a tax write-off for 2021 already, or however it works, that's what we're trying to do. So as soon as I can come up with 2 more buyer, seller, investors, that's what I'll call them, investors. We're investing now. We're investors. Then we can get those ordered and get them. I think they're good masks. I kind of researched masks a little bit, as much. Well, I mean, not intensely, but it's a mask I will wear. So, and then, the plan is to order 50. And then if those sell really well and they become very popular, then, we can always order more and sell more. So anyway, so that's also in the works for, as far as fundraisers. So, with that said, I think that we will go ahead and, I think what I want to try to do, Cherie, are you in the chat or are you in StreamYard with us? Oh, you're still there.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
unusual.
both.
Oh, are you on your laptop? That's unusual to see you in chat and in StreamYard. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
my laptop.
Okay, good. Well, so I think what I'm going to kind of start with first, just because it's something that Kay has been very helpful with this as well. But what Kay doesn't know is Cherie and I have this little addiction. I'll message her, at 10 o'clock at night and say, hey, do you want to play with maps? We're like, yeah. So we go into Google Earth and we just start, we always have a goal, but we always go into Google Earth and do these maps. And so not like big ones. I mean, Kay was there to help us with the big one, and that one's going to be like an epic release sometime this year. I don't know when, but it'll be sometime this year, because I've been working on that. How long have we been working on the Dirty Players, guys?
Oh my gosh, 6 months
6
probably.
months. Yeah, so that one will be a lot of fun. And just so the two of you know, mostly Cherie, because we sneak in the middle of the night and play with the maps. But I figured out how to, how I would. So you got in the chat. So I've got, like, there's just so many people involved in Daniel's case, and that's what this whole Google Earth map thing is about. And so there's so many people and so many places and roads that were traveled, and so I've got all these pins dropped all over the place, and different color pins, different size pins, and then I have the roads that we've gone in and mapped out for Daniel's, travel and stuff like that. And but it was every time I would go in and do a different map, like if I just wanted to do, well, for instance, I started a little one with Terri Morris, and I'll show you that in just a few minutes. But every time I would put in the places that, we wanted to show, and then if I zoomed out, I could start all of the other people and their pins and their roads and their streets and we're showing up too. And I was like, man, I couldn't figure out, like, how can I do that so that we don't have to see the big one that we're working on. Well, I figured it out last night. So now I know how to show you just what little map I'm working on without showing you a big one that's coming. So I
Awesome.
will. Isn't that awesome? Sometimes if I just stay up and never go to sleep at night, then, I can figure things out. So that's usually when that happens. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go show you guys. Now, I have never lived in Oklahoma. Kay certainly lives there, born and raised there. So, she's familiar with, well, she doesn't live in this area, but she's familiar with, you know, the names and the places. She's been there. She knows where these places are. And, so Um, but I feel like we have worked on these maps for so long that I feel I am pretty certain that when I go to Oklahoma this year sometime, I'm going to know how to get around in Daniel's patrol district because we know the streets and whose house is where, and we know it all, don't we, guys? We just are very familiar with it just by doing this big map that we're working on. So anyway, but what I want to show you tonight, because we are talking about Terri Morris's second interview, and in her second interview, nothing changes really in her story. In fact, she's really pretty good. The only thing that changed, or the only thing about her story, are there some lies, some like initial lies that are just lies that are part of her original story. And but even those don't change because she's convinced herself that those are true, I think. It's how she has to survive or whatever. But in even all the way through interview two, and I think this is going to be in the slides. It's going to be some not transcript, but quotes and stuff from a lot of it from, some of it from Brian Bates' podcast and things like that. So you'll be able to see. But her story about what happened with the officer who assaulted her, and hasn't changed at all. The first interview to the second interview, and she didn't just tell that story twice. Now she's told that event many times, many times, and in tonight's episode, if I ever can get to the video, um, or even in the slides, I'm sure, she's like, oh my God, I have told you this 1,000 times. What is wrong? Why don't and we know that that's how, that's part of the read technique, get them to keep saying the same story over and over and over. The difference is, though, with other coercive, corrupt cops and Rocky Gregory, is that he's not only trying to get her to change her story, but he's trying to get her to change the date of when she was assaulted and the entire location. And I'm not talking about just a couple of days difference. I'm talking about, Terri says that her assault took place on the 20th or 21st, and that never changes in probably 8 times that she's told the story through the second interview. It's never changed. It's always been the 20th or 21st. She just legitimately didn't know, what day it was. And I get that. I don't know what today is. But when you can see that she's so frustrated, and I was talking last night to Terri and Kay. I don't think Kay was there. I hadn't seen, but anyway, we were talking about how, in ways, the way that Rocky Gregory treated Terri Morris, the way he manipulates her and twists her words, or tries to get her to twist her own words, is very reminiscent of what the two boneheads in Wisconsin did to Brendan. I mean, obviously there's a huge difference. Brendan was a child, and he was abused, and that's the big difference there. And yes, Brendan was disabled, and but you know what? Terri Morris is disabled also, in a sense. Now, you can call it self-inflicted or whatever, but if you remember back to the video from the first part, she says that she's been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, with severe depression, PTSD. And so when you add the drug use, the drug abuse on top of that, and alcohol or whatever else she does to alter her mind, she's just not a well woman. And Rocky Gregory is the most vile, evil, because I agree that Terri Morris was assaulted and abused, but she was assaulted and abused by Rocky Gregory. Because and we're going to see more of that coming in the third part, in the third interview. you'll see more, hear more of that. But Rocky Gregory was relentless and ruthless, and it's just horrible what he did to her. Anyway, so what I wanted to show you is, if you remember, I wanted to have this for last week, but I didn't manage to get it done in time. Surprise. But this is, so let me just zoom out here quite a bit. So this is, what would you call this? What part of the state would you call this whole area, Kay?
Northeast.
The whole area is just northeast?
Northeast Oklahoma City.
Northeast Oklahoma, okay. So like if we look at, so Enid, where you're from and where Daniel is from is north of this, right? Is that right?
North and just a little bit west. It's like,
okay, you know what, I took out all the streets and stuff, so I
90 miles.
Okay. So yeah, so Enid is up in here somewhere, in Oklahoma. But at any rate, this is the northeast section of Oklahoma City. And this is where it's really interesting how you can just see all of where it becomes life happens here compared to the other areas. So I'm really bad at I don't see, I did that again yesterday and I didn't know how I did it. I don't know how I did it just now either, but whatever. I'm really bad at maneuvering the map. Sorry, guys. So this is, sorry. Okay. This is, Daniel's patrol area is more like, well, it's more over in this area over here, for the most part. So when Terri Morris hangs out over here too. I mean, it's all of these accusers live out in this area. This is where that's their well, it's more like here. Those are their stomping grounds. So for Terri Morris to end up over here where she did at the city rescue mission, I got on a great big theory thing last night about how she ended up there. And I won't go into it tonight, but because I'm not very good at trying to explain myself without a ton of detail. So, but this is the city rescue mission. This is, and like Terri Morris said to Rocky Gregory, I don't know, that's part of town. I'm not from here. I don't, I live on the northeast side, which is way over here. Well, it's way over here, really. But so, when he's trying to get her to tell her, where did he pick you up at? And where did he assault you? And, she says several times that she thought it was about 2 blocks from the city rescue mission, right? I think that's accurate.
Right.
So last night, I decided to play with the map again. It was late. And I thought, I found out where the city rescue mission is, and it's right here. That's this little, I don't know what that is, church building or something. This is the city rescue mission. This is the headquarters where they interview Terri Morris and probably all of them. Rocky and Bullwinkle work in this area right here. But so she says a couple of blocks from the city rescue mission. Now, we were really struggling. And I realized, it was probably not a couple of blocks. It was probably give or take, I mean, she didn't really know and we can't really be sure, but it's really hard in this particular area to really count out blocks. So what I did was I just kind of gave a radius of, I think I did like, I kind of didn't feel like she had maybe hopped this highway area over here, but maybe she did. But I stopped it right here. And so that's not really quite 2 blocks even. But then over here, I think I gave her like 3 or 4 blocks. And then north and south, I also gave her 3 or 4 blocks, just because we just don't know, give or take, right? So this is the vicinity area, and it could be wider and it could be much smaller. But this is the general idea of where I think Terri Morris was picked up. Because let me just say this as well. I do believe Terri Morris was assaulted by a police officer on the 20th or 21st. I know it wasn't Daniel, but I do believe that she was assaulted in some way, shape, or form by a police officer. That's just my belief. I don't feel like that assault, I tried to say this with as much sensitivity as I could last night when I was talking about it, but it's really hard. But I just feel like I don't know if it was, I mean, it was an assault. I believe she was assaulted and probably raped, but I don't know if that was like a major, like, I think that might have been a kind of an activity that she was accustomed to a degree because of her prostitution. And I don't know. I know that's really bad to say, but then when she had to, all of a sudden, she was heartbroken by Christopher Morris on the 24th, and when he had broken her heart and just, ripped her heart out and put it back in, and, just so devastated by what he did. Well, then she's beating him up and she's tearing up the car. And then he calls the police and she's like, oh shit, I gotta, some sense of like, oh gosh, I could be in trouble, go to jail here. I gotta, then she popped off and I think there's a couple of reasons for it. Popped off with the whole thing about having been raped a few days earlier. So this was, though, the vicinity that she claimed she was assaulted in down here. So we were kind of wondering, those of us who were playing with the maps at 1 o'clock this morning, what was she doing over there? Why was she all the way over there when she really lives in and hangs out in pretty much this general area here? Now, I wanted to just show you this. This is actually, this is the Oklahoma State Capitol right here. And I just think it's kind of sad that there are a lot of our state capitals and even our nation's capital are in the heart of these cities and whatever, and they're surrounded by crime and drugs and prostitution, and that's just so close. I mean, a lot of these accusers live over in this area, and if you might look at a map and go, oh, that's miles and miles. It's not miles and miles. It's a few miles away from the state capitol, and that's pretty pathetic. um, so last week, what I didn't get a chance to show you was that this is the Valero gas station where where St. Christopher is what I've named him St. Christopher based on his, I was helping my friend video bullshit last weekend or last week.
Christopher Shelton.
Christopher Shelton, yes, St. Christopher. But it's Christopher Shelton. I'm sorry. Anyway, this is the Valero gas station where he takes her to after she just beaten up on him and everything. And so in the report, God, I don't know which one it is, if it's the telephone call with Rocky or the police report, or if it's, I don't know who anymore, because every time he said something, it was a different thing. So, okay, stop. Good God. This is the Valero. So he says that he saw his friend Terri walking down Kelly, and he picked her up and was going to take her to her grandma's house. So this is Kelly right here, this red thing. This is the Valero gas station. This is Kelly. So I was trying to figure out last night, well, what direction was she going when he picked her up? I have some theories, but there's no way of knowing where. It doesn't give an exact north or south direction that she would have been going on Kelly. But her grandma lives right here. So here's the Valero. Here's Kelly. Here is a important building. It's actually right here, that is prominent in Terri Morris's life. It's a place where she stays frequently, or was staying frequently. One of the places. But this is where her grandma lives, right over here on Hill Street, miles, just a few miles. So she tells Christopher Morton. That's what I said earlier, didn't I? She tells Christopher Shelton, or St. Christopher, I don't want to go to my grandma's house. Take me to the Valero. So he whatever it is, he backtracks or whatever, and he comes back down here and brings her over here to the Valero, and then that's when the police get called right there. So that's what happened on that first night. Was really doesn't sound like there was a lot of traveling going on, but she was walking one way or another. And from what I know, I mean, it's really kind of hard to say, but from what I know about their habits, some of these accusers' habits, I'm it's I don't know, it's really hard to say. It's I think she may have been walking from this area from the south side going north, but that's just my theory. Um,
She said she was trying to get back to the shelter, didn't she?
right. Yeah, she did. Well, that was now I did the mileage between the Valero, no, from Liberty Station Apartments to the shelter, City Rescue Mission. It's only 4.1 miles, so it's not that big of a. But to walk or to ride a bus or, whatever, whatever, they did a lot of walking. I believe these girls did, and so, um, I don't know how she was. I don't know why she didn't tell Christopher Shelton to take her to I don't know. There's too many unknowns with that whole thing. Um, but it wouldn't have been, once I mapped it all out and checked the mileage and everything, it wouldn't have been a big deal to take her 4 miles, to the mission. But I don't think in the police report, Rocky Gregory goes to incredibly great lengths to find Terri Morris before leading up to June 3rd, between the 27th of May and June 3rd. And he checks with this city rescue mission, and they'd never heard of her. And a lot of the rehabs and the different halfway houses and faith-based places and whatever, Jesus House, a lot of them had never heard of her either, or they knew who she was, but they hadn't seen her in years or, months or whatever. So there's a little mystery there that I'm working on that I'll maybe put together someday, a theory that I have. But anyway, so that's from the first interview. Now this little spot right here is 21st Northeast 21st and Kelly Avenue. This is where CI Cal gives Rocky a call and tells him, "Hey, I spotted Terri, and we've called the police, and they've got her now, and she's in the car, and she's really upset and banging her head against the cage in the back seat." And this is where they met her. Was at 21st and I just love Google Earth. 21st and Kelly. Now, when you look at that, that's not an address. That's basically a cross street, and we get a lot of the cross street stuff in this with these ladies. So this is just when I typed in Northeast 21st and Kelly, this is where it put a pin. So it's just in the middle of the street. But I don't know. I was trying to see if I could figure out where maybe they met. Not that it really matters because they were sitting in the car, but I just was kind of curious. Like, I know they just didn't sit there in the middle of the street. So, was it maybe in here somewhere? Who knows? Doesn't matter. But this is where Detective Gregory meets her for the second interview. So I have Cherie and Kay have done this really amazing. I love these slides that Cherie does. She is awesome. She is the slide maker. If you ever need oh, sorry, Kay, or sorry, Cherie. Kay, I didn't mean to almost volunteer you for something.
Yeah, don't volunteer us for stuff.
We got enough to do, right? Sorry, I know I'm rambling. I'm having some anxiety today, but I'll try not. I'll try to quit rambling. That's not easy for me to do. Okay, so this is a really colorful, bright, cheerful, professional slides and I didn't work on these slides, although I did go through them, and I don't have to check Cherie and Kay's work. They have to check mine. So I know that whatever they are, they're they're what they need to be. But Cherie, I know it's not the thing you love to do, but I really kind of think you and Kay should maybe present the slides. I mean, I'll click them to the next one, but I really think that because you kind of did it, and you can decide how much you want to talk about or share or whatever. But I don't know. Don't you guys in chat, all five of you, don't you think? Don't you think it would be kind of cool if Cherie and Kay did the slides? Yeah, I think everybody wants to. Okay, so you guys just tell me when you want me to click to the next one, and I will be the button pusher. How's that? Okay. But I think that's beautiful. OCPD photo lineup policy and procedure, because that's what we're going to talk about today is the photo lineup. So there you go. Hello?
Go ahead, Cherie.
I couldn't see it because it was small. Lineups are valuable investigative tools to ensure the integrity of the identification process and establish reliable identification testimony by witnesses/victims. Police employees shall adhere to the following procedures.
Is that taking the whole screen? That's pretty cool. Okay, anyway.
Yes.
Cool. This is the next one, I think.
Yeah, this is from Oklahoma City PD's manual. Okay, photo lineup. An identification procedure in which a group of photographs are presented to a witness victim for the purpose of identifying or eliminating a suspect, which we all know. Sequential photo lineup, which is what they are supposed to be using, and blind administrators. So sequential just simply means the photo lineup in which the photos are presented to a witness or victim one at a time for the purpose of IDing or eliminating a suspect. Blind administrator is a sworn officer who administers the presentation of the lineup to the victim or witness and does not know the identity of the suspect. I find it hard to believe that was true in this case.
I was just gonna do a big loud
Yeah.
Okay.
Photo lineup methodology. All photo lineups will be administered using the sequential photo lineup method, utilizing a blind administrator. The investigating officer will not be in the room when the photographs are presented to the witness victim. Whenever possible, the sequential photo lineup will be conducted at a police facility and will be video and audio recorded. If the sequential photo lineup cannot be conducted at a police facility, it will be audio recorded.
The sequential photo lineup will consist of at least 6 individual photographs, only one of which will be the suspect. The remaining individuals will have no known connection to the case being investigated. The photographs must be of individuals of the same gender or similar race, age, hair color, and build. The person preparing the lineup will label the back of each photograph with a single capital letter using A through F. The suspect's position will be random. The blind administrator will present the photo lineup in alphabetical order.
The investigating officer will advise the witness/victim that the lineup will be presented to them by another investigator. The investigating officer will also provide the blind administrator with the photo lineup and the admission form. Then he will leave the room and advise the blind administrator to proceed with the lineup. The investigating officer will not indicate to the blind administrator the position of the suspect in the lineup.
The blind administrator will enter the room and present the witness victim with the photographic lineup admonition form. The witness or victim will sign and date the admonition form. The photographs will then be presented by the administrator in alphabetical order. Each photograph will be shown to the witness one at a time. No more than one photograph will be visible at the same time. Yeah, pay attention to all these rules and see how many got broken.
And we're only on the 6th slide.
Yeah.
If a witness, victim, or victim indicates they know the person in one of the photographs, the administrator will ask the witness or victim how they know that individual. If an individual is identified by the witness or victim as the person who committed the crime, the administrator certainty. The administrator will have the witness or victim initial and date the identified photograph. Even if a potential identification is made, the administrator will continue to show the remaining photographs. All questions and responses will be documented using exact quotes.
When no identification has been made, the same blind administrator can use the photographs in the same sequence. If an identification is made, the investigating officer will vary the order of the photographs to be presented by changing all of the letters on the back of the photographs, and a different blind administrator will present subsequent photo lineups. For each line, I was just thinking about something. For each lineup presented to a witness or victim, the labeled photographs, the admonition form, and the recording of the lineup will be preserved.
Can we mention, sorry, I know I'm not talking, but we'll pretend like I'm somebody else. Can we mention that the Kim Davis attitude about it, or what she said after, well, never mind. No, we can't. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Once the presentation is complete, the administrator will advise the witness or victim that the investigating officer will continue the interview, will summon the investigating officer and advise them of the result of the lineup, will complete the photographic lineup admonition form, noting if a positive, tentative, or no identification was made, and the position of the photograph relative to the order they were shown. He will then leave the room, and the investigating officer will continue the interview and complete a supplemental report. At no time before, during, or after the photo lineup shall the investigating officer or administrator make statements or behave in a manner that might be suggestive to a viewer. Also, the administrator will not provide any feedback to the viewer regarding the results of the photo lineup.
The administrator.
Sorry, I was on the wrong page.
Oh, okay. Upon completion of the interview, the investigating officer will sign and date the form. The lineup packet containing the admonition form, photographs, and the recording of the lineup presentation will be preserved in the case jacket. Copies of the entire packet may be made as the case requires. A copy of the photographic lineup admonition form will be forwarded electronically to the Investigations Bureau Administrative Assistant.
Do they have one of those in Oklahoma City? Do you know? An administrative assistant?
I don't know.
I don't think they do, but okay. Looky at here. This is my most favorite slide in the whole thing. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Nothing silliness. Okay. Hello?
Is this the continuation of the other one?
This is how Rocky did photo lineups. Is that what you're asking?
How he does it.
Rocky
how he
style.
does photo lineups, which require that a blind administrator will oversee photo lineups. So these are quotes from the rules. Cherie, that's right.
Yeah, well, the way I set it up was like this, he violated this
Okay.
rule, and then I put what he did, kind of, or
Okay.
showed what he did.
So, and Rhonda's going to show, I think in your video, or is that going to happen or maybe not?
It might happen.
Okay. Well, if it happens, does it have the lineup, this photo lineup in it?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Detective Gregory attempted to show Terri a photo lineup. I tried to get Terri to look at a photo lineup of possible candidates. These photos were to be used as an investigative tool. Terri began to, this is at, these comments are about the first,
from the first interview.
time that she came in for an interview on June 3rd.
Right. And these,
Yeah.
I believe this stuff comes from his, I forgot about my pointer that I love to just annoy people with. I believe that these things that that you guys are reading here come from the police report, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Terri began to get very upset, demanding not to see the photos. Terri advised she had no desire or want to see the photos and wanted to let the investigation go. I tried to get Terri to think of any other possible victims that could be prevented. Terri told me not to put that on her, and she has to do what's best for her, and that is not to speak about this matter. It'd be so much better if he could just use Terri's quotes
Yes.
instead of his illiterate sentence structure here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you guys will have, now these are all like verbatim from, like, copy and paste practically from the reports. This is just the way this jackass writes. So just so you guys are aware.
He speaks too.
How
just
he
wait
speaks
until you
too,
hear
yes.
some of the trial testimony. He's just an idiot.
It's not that we can't type it correctly or anything like that. It's the way he speaks and it's the way he writes. He's an idiot. Okay.
In violation of OCPD policy and procedure, which requires, have I got the wrong one?
No.
No, that was the next one. You're good.
Well, I think that's a repeat.
Sorry. My bad for not taking the dupe out. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. At trial, he further verified this violation on page 3208. So anytime you tried to ask her questions about what happened with the officer, that's when what would she do? Answer, right. Terri was basically, she was on a crack high then. She was very difficult dealing with her. She paced. She was walking around. She wasn't belligerent with me. She was at least cordial enough, but she was crying. She was upset. She kept saying she was scared in reference to what happened. And so I tried to limit my questions, trying to figure out, because the police reports I had lots of questions on. So I tried to narrow it down as far as like where the location was. She spoke about this mission to the officers. And I started hitting her up about where the location was. And she would barely answer. And then she said, I don't want to do anything. I even presented like a photo lineup to her, seeing if maybe she could point out,
Wow. My head hurts.
Yeah, he makes it sound like he had the photo lineup and he was trying to show it to her, but he was really just trying to get her to agree to look at one.
Right. But if he did have a photo lineup, that would have been in violation. But the fact that he offered her one was still in violation.
Yeah, definitely. In violation of OCPD lineup methodology, which requires whenever possible, the sequential photo lineup will be conducted at a police facility and will be video and audio recorded. On June 24th, 2014, an informant reported Morris's location after Gregory initiated another search for her in the wake of Ligon's allegations. Gregory and Detective Danny Higginbottom drove to Morris at Northeast 21st and Kelly. At 6:37, Higginbottom, designated blind administrator, assisted Gregory in photo lineup inside the back of Gregory's police car. What you actually hear when you're listening to that audio of that is you hear Gregory say that he's going to step away, I guess, knowing that he's being recorded, following this blind administrator rule, but he's just steps, just a few steps away. I think the thing is like that he wouldn't be in the room, so you would think he would be where she couldn't see him.
Right.
But because she had already been ambushed and detained, she was probably already freaked out. And if she really was raped, you would really be freaked out to just get snatched up off the street, when you're not really doing anything wrong just because some detective wants to badger you again.
Yeah. Now, I will say, though, in that recording of this, she does say when Bonehead gets ready to walk away, she says, don't leave me," and he's like, "I'm just going to go over here," but still,
she was scared, but he shouldn't have been doing this out there in the.
Right.
Well, it wasn't dark. We're summertime in Oklahoma. 6:37.
Right. But she did refuse to go to the station too. I'm not defending Rocky. Please don't think for one second I would ever defend that dirtbag. But she, now I just was going to say, but she did say she wouldn't go to the station, but we don't know that. We don't know that she wouldn't go to the station.
Well, so he kind of was threatening her with, would you rather go to the station and do this? No, when would she ever really rather go to the police station?
Right, exactly.
The procedure does state that if the sequential photo lineup cannot be conducted at a police facility, it will be audio recorded. However, was it possible for the detectives to take Terri to a police facility to conduct the photo lineup so that it could be video recorded and audio recorded? They were kind of skating on the edge of that because she had already signed a refusal to prosecute. Now at this point, they're harassing her. They've plucked her off the street, thrown her in the back of the cruiser, traumatized her. She's bashing her head on the cage the whole time Gregory's making his way over to her. It was just ridiculous.
Such a pig.
Well, they were so desperate to link her to this case because they didn't have a case, nothing but Ligon's.
Right.
Daniel's story was backed up by what he said.
Yeah.
Everything she said just didn't end up being true. And then you get the same hit back and it's negative. Yeah. They couldn't prosecute.
Yep. They had to do something.
They had to.
And by the 24th, according to Gregory, they had gotten word that from his mother-in-law, the supervisor in the crime lab, that they had a positive DNA hit on his pants, but it didn't match Ligon's. So he was like, "Oh, that's got to be, yeah." So anyway,
right, there couldn't be any DNA on anyone's pants unless they're a serial rapist.
Exactly right. And a serial rapist, I dare to imagine, would have had a whole hell of a lot more of DNA on their pants than what he did.
Yeah, especially one that supposedly assaulted 3 women in his last shift.
Yes. Exactly.
No stains on his pants. No
Yeah.
stains.
This is why we can't get through a show very easily, because there's so
Doesn't
much
work out.
information. I know. Okay. Did we read the, I don't, taking the photographs. I don't know if you read this one, but it's okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
OCPD lineup preservation procedure requires that the lineup packet containing the admonition form, photographs, and the recording of the lineup presentation be preserved in the case jacket, and copies of the entire packet be made available as the case requires. Rocky Gregory did not forward a lineup packet containing the photographs used in the lineup. There's no access to those, right?
I don't know.
The photos?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I'm sure the defense team has them.
do you think?
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know then.
I've never heard that they did. Okay, so I guess
no, you don't think so? Huh.
Oh, how the hell would I know?
I
I
think they
don't
were.
know.
I'm shocked they weren't an exhibit at trial, but
I'm not.
maybe not. Okay, well, maybe not. Okay.
Because they wouldn't help they wouldn't help the state. You know, she probably picked out Jeff Dutton for all we know, and that didn't work. So. But yeah, I mean, and even, you know, by the time she gets done with the interview, with the second interview with the photo lineup, she's not sure which one, if any of those guys are. It's not Daniel. I can't wait for that damn video to be done so you guys can see and hear it all. But anyway, yeah. So there's issues with Rocky's results. Well, let's see what those are.
Morris could not positively identify her alleged assailant in a photo lineup from the record, page 3172. She initially claimed her attacker was a photo belonging to OCPD officer Jeff Dutton. Morris's initial response when shown Dutton's photo was, "That's him." Then she stated repeatedly that she wasn't sure, was confused, and did not know. She later stated that there were 2 photos that could be of her assailant. One photo was Dutton and the other was Holtzclaw.
From Detective Higginbottom's report dated June 25th, 2014, he stated, "I began by showing Terri a series of photographs, and she immediately said that was him when I showed her picture A. Then she immediately changed her mind and said she was not sure. I told her I had several pictures to show her and continued on. When I got to picture C, Terri said that could be him, then said she was confused. We continue on, and she said no to all the pictures. When we got to the last picture, she told me it was down to pictures A and C, but she was not sure. I told her we would go over the photos again."
Once again, I started with picture A. Terri said no, that was not him. Then she did not know. When we got to picture C, she said could be. I continued showing her the pictures. When I got to the last picture, Terri said it was down to 2 pictures, A and C.
I placed picture A and C side by side, and Terri said she did not remember. I told her I was not going to pressure her to make a decision on which one it was. I let her look at both pictures, A and C, together for a few minutes. Then I asked her if she was ready to make a decision on a picture. Terri said no. She said she was not positive on either picture A or C. I asked Terri if that was her final answer, and she said yes.
Then as I was putting the pictures up, Terri said he had really dark hair. It should be noted that the individual in picture A had black hair and the individual in picture C had brown hair.
Ugh. Can I just say we have searched all over this entire earth for a picture of Sergeant Jeff Sellers. Jinx, if you're still in the chat, I don't think you
Man,
are.
I can't believe we couldn't find his mugshot.
Yeah, I didn't look for his mugshot, actually. I don't know if, well, I guess it would still be a matter of public record, but there's a video somewhere, I was down a rabbit hole one night a few weeks ago, and I saw it, and I wish I had grabbed it, and I didn't. I didn't know it was going to be impossible to find a photo of this man. But anyway, we don't have a picture of him. Maybe we can get one by the next part. We'll see.
Is this you or me, Sherry?
I can't remember. I can start, I guess.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is about Sergeant Jeff Sellers. The photo lineup excluded him. Sergeant Jeff Sellers was a police officer who had a prior history of having sex with prostitutes and who came into contact with Morris within 1 month of the alleged sexual assault.
Only 2 police officers came into contact with Morris and ran her through their computers in April and May of 2014. Mr. Holtzclaw did a Varuna check on May 8th, and Jeff Sellers did a MDC records check on April 11th, 2014. Sellers was once fired by the OCPD for having sex with prostitutes in his patrol car while on duty. He was later given his job back and allowed to patrol areas of the city known for the persistent presence of street prostitutes, according to HoltzclawTrial.com. The photo lineup shown to Morris contained 6 photos, including Mr. Holtzclaw, but excluding Mr. Sellers.
Now, I just wanted to make a comment. Isn't it interesting how we have not been able to find a photo of Jeff Sellers, who went to court, was fired, and I mean, he was convicted for having doing this with these prostitutes while in uniform in his car. That's a given. We cannot find one fucking picture of him, yet we've got pictures and video and trash talk and all kinds of happy horse shit of Daniel for months. I mean, we don't have to. We just look up OCPD officers and pictures of Daniel come up. So that really pisses me off. Okay, I'm done.
Me too. Now we're looking at the differences between how Terri described her alleged attacker and how Daniel looks. She initially claimed her assailant was dark-skinned and said he appeared to be about 40. She described her alleged assailant as a white male with dark skin, and later on she said he may have been part Indian and had a dark-colored skin complexion.
She also thinks he might be Irish.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, Lord help her. Okay.
Terri said her assailant had dark-colored skin. Daniel is light-skinned. She thought her assailant's eyes might be blue, but she couldn't remember. Daniel's eyes are dark brown. She did not see any tattoos on him. Daniel has had 2 tattoos.
And did we really think she was going to know what the color of his eyes? I'm like, come on. It was dark. She says it was dark, getting dark. And I don't know. Doesn't matter.
She said her alleged assailant had a part in his hair, but did not know which side the part was on. Daniel did not have a part in his hair. She said he may have been in his 30s, 40s, or 50s. This wide range did not include Daniel's actual age at the time.
Which was, he was what, 27, 29? 27? Yeah. Now, having said that, because I've seen the little video clips of Jeff Sellers, the person, and maybe I'm just making it that way in my head, but what little bit of clips I did see of just Jeff Sellers, dude, he matches that description almost to a T, age, everything. So I'm gonna find a freaking picture or die trying.
Terri advised, oh, did I just read? Oh my gosh, I need to go to bed. Terri advised the subject was a white male with olive skin. He had some different race like Italian to his skin. Terri advised he was solid muscle. He was 6 foot to 6'2", weighing 260 to 270 pounds. He had dark hair with a part on one side, according to Gregory's July 24th report. Terri Morris, who's Detective Gregory?
Oh, Detective Gregory. Got
Oh
it.
my gosh, that's weird. That freaked me out. Terri Morris. I didn't look like it didn't look like none of his hair was out of place. Gregory says. Did he have a part in his hair? Yeah. You're showing your left side, is that right? Well, I don't know which side. He had a part. Okay, how old? Inaudible. How old he was? Maybe, I don't know, 30s, 40s, I don't know.
Okay, this is Terri, her preliminary hearing testimony. Question, do you recall telling Officer Higginbottom or Detective Higginbottom that the first picture you saw was the person that assaulted you? Answer.
Do you want me to read the answers?
Sure.
Okay. I recall pointing at I believe his picture and another one that looked just like him. It was two. Then I was going back and forth, but I knew at the end I ended up picking the right picture.
Okay, but you weren't really sure on the photos that they showed you, correct?
No, because all of them kind of looked similar. Duh.
You want me to continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. And did you do any looking into the location that Officer Sellers was at whenever he ran Terri Morris?
Yes, I believe it was. It wasn't in the area that she was speaking of at all.
Was it at 2200 Northeast 24th Street?
That's correct.
And where is that in relation to Liberty Station Apartments and Capitol Crossing Apartments that we've heard testimony about?
Liberty Station is like a 700 block, you could say, Northeast 26. So we're talking over a mile away.
Okay, is Northeast 24th Street around the area of Northeast 24th and Highland?
Yes.
Okay, and how many miles approximately is that between Lindsay and Highland?
I'm just kind of guessing about a mile.
More than one?
Yes.
And through your experience as an Oklahoma City police officer, do you know Officer Jeff Sellers?
Yes, a little bit.
Based on your interview with Terri Morris, did he fit or not fit the general description that Terri Morris gave to you of the officer?
No, he did not. Bullshit.
How not?
Well, his hair was different. He wasn't muscular. Complexion was different. Just the features that she was presenting me, especially on our third contact, it didn't match.
Imagine that. Was that significant to you?
Yes, I just kind of during the investigation, just making sure that that officer wasn't involved. Oh my God.
Okay, this is Gregory's cross-examination on Officer Sellers by Scott Adams, defense attorney. Just the name Sellers under this scenario that Ms. Morris is claiming happened, did that raise any alarms or any problems with you whatsoever?
For this? No.
And actually, had Officer Sellers, does he have any kind of history of doing anything such as suggested by Ms. Morris on this occasion?
Oh, no. God, my skin's crawling. No.
He does have a history of having sex at all? He doesn't have a history of having sex at all with prostitutes?
I know he was investigated with prostitutes, yes.
He was actually fired for it, wasn't he?
I don't know if he was fired for it, jackass.
Do you recall Officer Sellers actually being brought up for charges for having sex with a known prostitute?
I didn't know that there was charges, no.
Okay, are you aware of an administrative hearing being conducted to fire him for having sex with a prostitute in his car while on duty?
I think there was something.
You know that there was something, don't you? It was all over the place when it happened.
No, I really didn't. I just kind of heard something.
You wouldn't think it would be significant that a member of the Oklahoma City Police Department is having sex with a prostitute in their vehicle while on duty? You don't think that would be something that the cops would be talking about?
Oh, wait, what happened? I guess we don't get to hear his answer.
Did you look into any of that in this investigation? I mean, you knew
Oh,
for a fact that the only other officer in Oklahoma City who came into contact with Miss Morris within less than 30 days of Officer Holtzclaw, that very officer had been brought up on administrative charges, admitted, and was fired from Oklahoma City for having sex with a prostitute while on duty, and only maintained his job through the arbitration process. Do you know? And you didn't think any of that was important?
she didn't identify him. The physical attributes, the time period didn't match. I did check into whether he was the one, and I know the allegations were him having sex consensually with a prostitute, not about sexual assault. And it was consensual with a prostitute because he paid her. That I don't know. I don't know any specifics
And how did you know it was consensual?
because that's just what I was told. It was sex with a prostitute, so I assumed.
Well, let me ask you this. In the recording that I've been provided to me, that has been provided to me, at any time during that interview, do you ever bring up the name of Officer Sellers?
No, I didn't bring up Officer Holtzclaw either.
And okay, fair enough. In the photograph lineups that you had provided, you tried to show her one. Sellers wasn't in that one, correct?
I don't remember. I didn't put together that lineup.
Well, you remember the second lineup where she picks out two officers, correct?
Yes,
Tell this jury if Officer Sellers was included in that lineup.
I don't believe they put him in there.
Okay, this is on redirect. Does Officer Sellers resemble Officer Holtzclaw?
No,
How do they differ in appearance?
his build's not as muscular. He has lighter brown hair compared to Officer Holtzclaw having darker hair. Their facial features are different.
Whenever Mr. Adams asked you if Officer Sellers was in the lineup that was shown to Terri Morris, do you remember that line of questioning?
Yes,
Through your time as an Oklahoma City police officer, have you assembled lineups?
yes, I have.
Whenever you assemble a lineup, what are you trying to do?
We're trying to basically, what we do is get 6 pictures together, and then we have who we think maybe is the possible suspect somewhere in the middle of them. And we're just trying to see if the victim can verify that's who we think it is.
And these 6 pictures of people, are you trying to get people who look similar or who look different?
Similar.
Here, McConnell, the ADA recites location data that matches up Holtzclaw's data, to which Gregory responds.
Terri's the one who pinpointed out this is here. She was sexually assaulted and also the route taken. And that had nothing to do with Officer Sellers during the contact that he had with her. It was a mile and a half away.
And those 4 locations that I named to you, Detective Gregory, was Officer Holtzclaw at those locations
Yes, he was.
on the same date that he came into contact with Terri Morris?
Yes.
That's the end.
Oh, that's the end. Okay. Well, there you go. So, who do we still have here? We still have Linda and Sue, and thank you guys so much. You ladies are awesome. Um, so yeah, that's pretty damning stuff. It's Rocky Gregory is just a fucking liar. Um, and he just gets away with it, and it just makes me sick. But um, I mean, nobody challenged him. I mean, even oh, whoops, even as much as Scott Lord, the video's done. Even as much as Scott Adams, tried, um, he just they just didn't. He was allowed to just do and say whatever he wanted, and with no repercussions. Hopefully, in the civil trial or the civil suit or the whatever that is that's coming, hopefully they'll be able to do it. But who knows? So we still got 4 people, Linda, and I'm not sure who else. They had a lot of crap in Daniel's case. The video's done, but it's about 20 minutes long. So I don't know if it's pretty good, but I don't know if, I mean, I can just go ahead and show it. Whoever's here to watch it can watch it. And, I can still run it as a premiere as well, I think. Hi, Shaz. Oh, well, perfect. Shaz is here. We're going to show the video. Um, I mean, that's really, it's up to Kay and Cherie, though. Kay
No,
might.
go ahead.
Okay.
It's up to Cherie. She's the time zone.
It's okay. I wanted to see it.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and show this video. It's, it's a lot of what we just read through, but it's a little bit different when, where the hell did it go? Did I not open it? I might not have opened it. Let me just get it open really quick. Okay, there it is. It's okay. Sorry, I hurried and named it some really random name just so I could get it uploading, and I couldn't remember what it was. So there it is. So, all right. I think this will tie everything together for you guys. Loud.
With Morris's signing of the refusal to prosecute form, Detective Gregory was forced to put the investigation on hold. Fast forward now to June 18th and the Liggins traffic stop and subsequent interrogation of Holtzclaw. You'll recall during the interrogation, Detective Gregory asked if he had any recollection of stopping someone named Terri Morris during the city rescue mission in downtown Oklahoma City and then giving them a ride. Daniel said he did not recall that name, but was certain he's never patrolled that area and never given someone a ride to or from the city rescue mission. After the interrogation, Detective Gregory decided he needed to contact Terri Morris again. And once again, CI Cal was able to locate Morris and contact the police who detained Morris for Detective Gregory. Not to be too cynical, but what Detective Gregory claims happens next is like straight out of a script of a low-budget cop movie. According to Detective Gregory, the moment Morris sees him walking up to her, she exclaims, quote, "He did it again, didn't he?" Cue the dramatic music and insert the eye rolls. I don't mean to be sarcastic here, and it may seem out of place, but trust me, I'll be getting into a plethora of provable lies by Detective Gregory in the coming episodes. Needless to say, and conveniently enough, that comment was not recorded. According to Detective Gregory, Morris was willing to cooperate in looking at a photo lineup and discussing details of the case, but that she didn't want to be taken back to police headquarters. Detective Gregory had Detective Daniel Higginbottom show Morris the photo lineup and note her response. The following is an edited version of the audio from that photo lineup conducted with Terri Morris.
This is Detective Gregory. I'm here with Terri Morris at Northeast 21st and Kelly. It's June 24th, 14, and it's 6:32 p.m. Met with Terri. She said that she would do a photo lineup. Terri, this is Detective Higginbottom, okay?
Yeah.
And he's going to speak with you, and I'm going to step on out of here, okay? Okay.
Don't leave me, please.
Okay. I'm just going to step right over there, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Terri, how you doing?
I'm fine.
All right. Can you hear me just fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Terri, in a moment, you'll be shown a series of photographs in random order. This series may or may not contain a photograph of the individual who committed the crime being investigated. You do not have to identify anyone. The person showing you the photographs does not know the photographic identity of the suspect. While looking at the photographs, keep in mind hairstyles, facial hair, clothing, etc. are subject to change. Also, photographs do not always accurately depict a person's complexion. It may be darker or lighter than it appears in the photograph. Also, disregard any differences in the shape, size, type, quality, or color in the photographs or the paper on which they are printed.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
It's okay. You should study only the person depicted in each photograph. Please do not speak to anyone other than the administrator while viewing the photographs. You must make your own decision and not be influenced by any other person.
Yes, sir.
As you look at each photograph, if you see someone you recognize, please tell the administrator how you know the person. If you see a person you believe committed the crime, state in your own words how sure you are of the identification. Okay, please do not indicate in any way or other witnesses you have or have not made an identification. Okay, I've read or been advised of the above instructions and I fully understand them.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let you sign right there. And today's date, it's the June 24th, 6:24.
Is that right?
Okay, and it is approximately 6:37. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. That's him.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, well,
Wait.
I've got several photographs to show you. So,
I'm not really sure.
here's the first one.
Kind of look like. No, it's not him. No, I don't know. It could be him.
Okay.
See, that confused me, man. No, it's not him. No, not him. No.
No.
Is that him
Okay.
too?
Well, let's go through it again.
I wonder if it says that. I'm not really sure. It may not be
Okay, we'll
him.
start with this one.
I don't think it's him.
No. Okay.
Hold on. Oh, man. I'm confused.
Yes or no?
No. Could be.
Could be. Don't know.
No.
No.
No. No.
No. Okay.
Could be.
Could be. Don't know.
I just don't know.
Don't know. Okay.
Like out of two.
Do what?
It's out of two pictures.
I can't hear you.
I said it's kind of out of two pictures that it could be.
Two pictures. Which two are those?
This one and that one.
These two?
Yeah. But can I see? I don't remember though.
Okay.
Let me see.
Well, if you don't remember, you don't remember. Okay? Not putting any pressure on you at all. You want to make a decision on one?
No, because I'm
No?
not positive.
Not positive? Okay. Just one of those two.
Yeah.
Maybe. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
What do you... Tell me again.
I'm gonna see is that one, but I'm not real sure.
Okay. That's your
It could
final
be
answer?
It could be that one or that one.
Okay. That's your final answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, real dark. That's day color.
Okay, we'll go ahead and conclude. Okay.
While you're able to get a feel for how a photo lineup is conducted, since there was no video in that clip, you don't really get any sense as to which specific photos Morris is reacting to. According to Detective Gregory's report, Morris initially tentatively identified 2 officers as potential suspects in her sexual assault: Officer Jeff Dutton and Officer Daniel Holtzclaw. But as you heard, she changed her mind several times and continuously stated she was uncertain and confused. It's also important to know who was not included in the photo lineup shown to Terri Morris. Detective Gregory intentionally left out Officer Jeff Sellers from the mix. I find this interesting. As previously reported, Gregory knows that Officer Sellers had had contact with Morris recently. More importantly, Officer Sellers has a relevant and disturbing past. In January of 2006, the Oklahoman newspaper reported that Officer Sellers had been fired from the department as the result of an internal affairs investigation that determined he had had sex with at least one prostitute while in uniform and on duty. That prostitute reportedly made a monetary claim against the city for alleged damages. Binding arbitration later forced the Oklahoma City Police Department to rehire Jeff Sellers. Detective Gregory was asked if he found it concerning that Officer Sellers had had recent contact with Morris and that he was also known to have sex with prostitutes while on duty. Detective Gregory claimed he didn't really know anything about that incident, even though it was widely reported on the news and was a topic of much conversation within the police department. As disturbing as the fact Officer Sellers was left out of the photo lineup is, exactly how Detective Gregory creates his photo lineups is even more concerning. I am quoting from page 3312 of the jury trial transcript. Question: whenever you assemble a lineup, what are you trying to do? Detective Gregory's answer, quote, basically what we do is we get 6 pictures together and then we have who we think maybe is the possible suspect somewhere in the middle of them. And we're just trying to see if the victim can identify who we think it is, end quote. This detective just admitted they allow their bias to dictate the direction of their investigation all the way down to what photos are selected to show potential victims. After the photo lineup is complete, Detective Gregory sits down with Morris for the second time to try to interview her. The following is some edited audio from that interview.
Here again, just kind of, I know you said you didn't want to talk about this, but I'd like for you to just answer a couple questions for me, okay? Can you just run down through the story one more time?
It's like I told the story like 1,000 times.
Okay, but I'm trying to catch it here, okay? So I don't have to keep bothering
Well,
you.
I was trying to find my way back to the rescue because I don't really know my way downtown very well. And I was standing to the rescue mission not to come to the east side that day.
Okay.
And the police car pulled up on me. Yeah, stopped, asked me my name, all that familiar stuff. Took my purse, searched it. Then put me in the car while he run the check. I didn't have no warrants or nothing. Then, I had a pipe though. And he said, I could take you to jail for this, you know. And I was like, oh man. Because I relapsed because my boyfriend cheated on me.
And you what?
My boyfriend cheated on me. We was kind of breaking up.
All right, you found the pipe, then what?
Yeah. And so he just kept kind of messing with it, playing with it in the front. Then he got out. And I was sitting there, like I'm sitting. He opened the door, and he asked me, he said, told me to unzip my pants. He unzipped, he said, you got any panties on? He told me to raise my shirt up. Then he told me to give him
Did you raise your shirt up?
Yeah.
Did he ask you to raise it so he could see your breasts?
He didn't say that, he just said raise your shirt up.
Okay.
And he wanted me under my pants, and I was like, what? So I know it wasn't right. Then he asked me for some oral sex.
How did he ask that?
I can't. He said he'll give me some head. I won't take you to jail or something. He was saying.
Okay.
I said, take me to jail for a fight. I said, he throw them things away and break them.
Then what?
Then I just kind of got quiet and I cried and I asked him, please don't do that. Make me do it. And he said, yeah, just do it for a couple of minutes. Then he would leave me alone, he said. So I did.
Did he take it out through a zipper?
Yeah, I don't know. It was already. I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even see
How
it.
long did he have it?
Probably about a couple of minutes.
A couple minutes.
Then he wanted me to do it again. It's like, then he said, you can't tell anybody about this time or something. And also, I just want to get back to the mission. I just want to go back to the rescue mission. I was talking about my wife. And he says, you want to ride? I said, no, I can walk it. And I got out, I was going to make a step, and he said, no, I don't want nothing bad to happen to you, so get back in the car. So get back in the car. And I was like, I can walk, I'll find it. And then he pulled somewhere where he started going another route. And I seen it once, and I was like, hey, that's the place right there. He said, yeah, he was going to go around or something.
The place meaning the rescue mission?
Yeah. He said he was going to go around because he would have hugged. I said, this ain't the right way. And he said, and then he kind of pulled somewhere not that far. It wasn't far.
Did you stay at the mission that night?
No. I left. I was traumatized. Still now. It freaked me out.
Now you said it was a car like this one, the older police car?
Yeah.
Okay. Describe him one more time. You know this is important.
I love my
How tall?
eyes.
How tall you think he is?
About 6'1", maybe 6'2", 6 feet, anywhere.
Okay. What color hair?
Dark brown, black.
Okay. And was he clean shaven?
Yeah.
What do you think he'd weigh?
Oh, I'm not good with weight like
Okay.
that.
I'm 6 foot and I weigh 220.
Okay, I'd say maybe 260, 270. I don't know.
Okay. All right. And he was what race?
Heck, I think he was white. Maybe it's an Indian or Irish or something. Because his skin complexion was like, like a dark color.
He was darker? Okay.
Like, he's white, but it's like, I don't know.
Did you see his eyes?
I can't remember.
Can't remember. Okay.
I wanted to say it was blue, but I cannot remember.
You see any scars, marks, or tattoos?
No.
Okay. And was he thin or
No, he was like solid muscular, like.
solid muscular?
Yeah.
Okay. And had he ever stopped you before?
I really don't know. So many police just stopped me.
Do you think he ran you that day?
Huh?
You think he checked you for warrant?
Who?
This officer?
When?
The day that it happened? Do you think he...
Well, I don't know. He was up there doing something on the thing, but I didn't hear nobody.
What thing? Like the computer like that?
Yeah, but I never heard nobody get back with him. Oh, I think, no, he did because they said it was clear.
Did you hear a radio?
I think so. I'm getting confused
It's
now.
Okay. I don't want to confuse
I need
you.
my medicine now.
Do you remember him calling out your name? Like to a dispatch?
He said, no, I don't know. It was a mosquito. I don't think he said my name. I'm not really sure anymore.
Do you think the computer was on?
Oh, I don't know. I was just scared to death.
You don't know.
I think it was.
So you think you gave him head for 2 minutes?
I don't know. 2 or 3. I don't know.
Did he have his hands on you while you were doing this?
No.
No?
I don't know. I can't remember. Everybody's trying to jump a lot of asking some more questions. I can't remember. It's not that great. I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure.
Is there anything that you can think of that I didn't ask?
Yeah, the uniform like that.
Like mine?
Look like not damn strand of hair didn't look like it was out of place.
Do what?
It didn't look like none of his hair was out of place.
Did he have a part in his hair?
Yeah.
You're showing your left side, is that right?
Well, I don't know which side being a part.
How old do you think he? How old do you think he was?
Maybe, I don't know, 30s, 40s. I don't know, 50.
And what time of day do you think this happened?
Maybe, I don't know, about 6, 7, 8. It was dark.
Oh, was it in the morning? Or was it in the afternoon?
No, it was dark. It was evening. It was dark. It wasn't late. But it was the beginning. It started getting dark. It just got dark. Hadn't been dark that long.
So you're not for sure on the time? Now, before you thought it was at the end of May 20th, 21st. Is that still?
Yeah.
That still sounds right? Like just a couple days before you talk with the officers?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you interested in going forward with this?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Yeah.
You know I want you to, because I told you about.
Yeah, yes, sir. I know. I don't want to be involved no more. That's all I can do. I just want to put it behind me.
You just what?
I want to put it behind me, get out my system.
Hang on one second. I need to ask. You don't know a Janie?
Janie? Oh, not Janie.
Do you know a Janie Liggins?
No.
Black female, about 57 years old?
No, no.
Okay. Now you're still saying a couple blocks from the mission.
Yes.
I know I keep covering it, but you know that there's a reason. Do you know which direction?
No, because I didn't even know my way around downtown, period.
Did he ever touch your breast?
Yeah, he just told me to raise it.
How far did you raise it?
I raised it all the way up like he told me.
So did your boobs come out?
Yeah.
What do you do when you...
Nothing. No, please, go.
Okay. I'm not going to keep you. You understand why I'm asking all these questions?
I'm asking no more questions. That's a lot.
You got my phone number, right?
Oh, no. I need it again.
Okay. Hey, don't be running on off. Hang on. I know you're rip-roaring ready, grabbing your purse and ready to run. Got a F5 card. Now, you remember my name, Detective Gregory.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Even if you lose this, no, I work at Sex Crimes, Oklahoma City. And all you got to do is just call downtown if you think of anything that would be helpful. Okay.
We've now heard this very detailed version from Terri Morris numerous times. First, to each of the 2 officers that responded to the Valero gas station 911 call. Then, to Lieutenant Holland after she arrived on scene. We next heard it each of the 2 times that Detective Rocky Gregory interviewed Morris. While some of the small details changed, inside the car, outside the car, breasts exposed, not exposed, touched, not touched, the main points remained constant. The rape occurred just a few days prior to Christopher Shelton's 911 call. Morris specifically stated either the 20th or 21st of May. Shelton was the first person Morris confided in. The sexual assault occurred in downtown Oklahoma City, and Morris was walking from a drug rehabilitation center to the city rescue mission. The officer was driving an older model black and white 2010 Crown Vic. And lastly, the officer who raped her exposed his penis with little to no effort, and he was not wearing a condom. All of these things Terri Morris was sure of and repeated over and over again. Next, throw in the fact that the very first time we hear about this rape is during what is often referred to as an unsolicited, excited utterance in the background of Christopher Shelton's 911 call. Then, there's Morris's description of her attacker. Mixed race, white male, at least 6 foot tall, solid muscle, about 260 pounds, clean shaven with dark hair. It sounds a lot like Daniel Holtzclaw. I'd be insulting you if I didn't admit it didn't look good for Daniel. But what if I told you Terri Morris is about to admit that the majority of her story is a complete and convenient lie? And she's not the only one caught lying. That and more in the next episode of Bates Investigates, the podcast, Season 1, The State of Oklahoma versus Daniel Holtzclaw.
All righty. There you go. We lost one.
Which one?
Not you. Not you
That
and
was
not
a
me.
good video.
That's not too bad, huh?
Yeah. Brian does a great
Wait. Yeah.
explain in this case.
You know, when I was going through it, I just thought, you know what? I can't do it any better. I'm just going to let him do it, and I'll just put in my little 2 cents, little pictures and stuff, because I have fun doing that anyway. So,
Well, hopefully people go go listen to the podcast because
yes.
it's really great.
Yep. And I'll also, I don't know if you guys in the chat know this or not, but I uploaded hey, T1, we just finished. Well, we're chatting, but um, hello, I'm doing my show. Oh, are you coming to say goodnight? My little one's coming to say goodnight, my little Nini bug. Give me hugs, hurry. Everybody for me. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, I love you, bug. Close the door. Okay. So yeah, so what I did was I put all of the videos that I had from last week's show and in Daniel's in the, I think, news and video clips in the family room or something. We're going to do some revamping on the Discord channel when I get back from Arizona. But anyway, so I'll do the same thing with this one. I'll go ahead and upload it, and then I'll put the link to it in Daniel's Truth, so that for people like T1 or anybody else who didn't make it until it was all done, they can go back and listen to it if they'd like to. I don't know. I think it's pretty well worth the listen, because I think it gives a lot of good information. And then the next one is just going to blow your freaking minds. Maybe I'm easily amused, so maybe that's a little bit of an overstatement, but it's really the third interview is very, I don't know what you would call it. Well, I don't know what to call it, how to refer to it or describe it.
Corrupt.
Corrupt.
Very
Yeah, very
corrupt.
corrupt. There you go. And everything is going to change. Everything that you learned in the first one and this one is going to be completely different by the time you get done with oh, it's okay, T1, I understand. At least you work. I don't do jack crap. So but you can watch it later. But it's going to boggle your mind, I think. I don't know. Every time I know this, pretty well now. By now, this case, Terri's case in particular, and I still just get so incensed and irate at it. So it's definitely, and I'm going to just tell you right now, it's going to be more than an hour. I'm not even going to try to pretend that we're going to keep it at an hour, because it ain't going to happen. I guarantee it. So, having said that, I had mentioned that I would might maybe do a premiere for the last one, because I'm going to be in Arizona, and I just didn't. But I don't even want to do a premiere. I want to do it live, and so I hope that I can get everybody's blessing or understanding or thumbs up or whatever you want to do. We're going to do it on Thursday instead. That way I have a chance to get back from Arizona and spend some time, preparing it, because it's going to be a pretty good one, and pretty. If you haven't been pissed off yet in the case, I think you might. I think you might walk away pissed off after this next part. What do you think, Kay?
It's pretty maddening.
Pretty maddening. That's the word we've decided we use. What about you, Cherie? How do you feel about the third interview?
It makes me angry.
Just asking questions that are really, I know the answer. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it on Thursday night next week, just so that I can do the third interview justice. So just wanted to let you know that that's the reasons for most of my wishy-washiness. And so I'll just keep doing the best we can. And I don't know, when the days get bad and it's that time, I don't know what'll happen. I'm a very determined or stubborn, or I prefer to call it strong-willed. I don't know, but I don't like to let people down, and I know that I've let all of you guys down enough, and I don't know. So maybe it'll be the thing that'll keep me going and keep me, you know, from really crashing, because I don't know. I don't know how much more of that kind of stuff I can take in less than 5 years. So thank you guys for understanding and for being patient. In the meantime, I'll probably be teaching Kay and Cherie how to do a lot of this stuff. And if I do need to have some time off, hopefully they can, we'll be able to have time and find time to, it's time to stop, but to do that, to take over and take, do a few shows or whatever, if that's what I need. And I know they'll be great. They'll do a fantastic job. And so we'll take care of it. And, maybe a couple of shows or a few shows or maybe a month of shows, I don't know, that we won't get to, but we won't stay away. We'll be back. So in the meantime, we got a great show coming up next Thursday. And thank you all for being here, coming in late. Whatever, those of you who've stuck around the whole 2 hours, thank you so much. You guys are amazing, and I love you guys. And I just want to be honest and tell you, T1, it's only been about maybe 6 weeks ago that I finally got the courage to ask somebody what MLR is. So now I know what it means. So I just see it between you and other members of the community all the time. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, okay, I know it's something good, but I can't figure. And so I finally asked somebody, and I think that's awesome. I love that. So if I start using the MLR, I hope you guys won't mind. But now, Kay, do you have anything else to add for the night?
No, I'm good. Just good night.
All right. Cherie?
I'm still awake.
I can't believe she's still awake. You guys, listen, you don't know about Kay and her nap times.
Yeah, do tell a 10-minute story about that.
It was hilarious. I have it on video too. I mean, I recorded mine and Cherie's conversation that night when you were sleeping.
Okay, that's the end of this.
Oh no, it's a whole separate recording.
Okay, great.
I might, for fun, you guys, I might go ahead and upload that and put it in the library with the other stuff, the other part of the book.
Oh my God, you're extra tonight. Extra.
It's not like you're saying anything. It's not, you're not making a dum-dum of yourself or anything. So it'll be fun.
I just fall asleep every time there's a reading. Like,
yeah, you might not want to dare.
It's because I use that recording of those readings when I go to sleep, so I think it's anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can just cut that right out of this video.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be good for a laugh someday for us or for me or for somebody. So, all right. Well, with that, we will say good night, and I will see everybody. Tell everybody to be here Thursday, so that we can have a really good showing on Thursday for this third and final part of Terri Morris. All right. Thank you guys. I love you guys. MLR. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.